Welcome to the Lightyear Frontier. This is a game that is open world with mechs. Pick your own adventure. It's played on a new frontier. It has a little story to go through. It's not heavy in terms of story information. Earth's no good anymore.
Is it like Wally?
Some, like you, have taken off for the Lightyear Frontier. You want a fresh start. A new home. A new home is very important. We're in some kind of galaxy here. There's a couple different planets. A satellite watching us called Piper. I believe that we kind of crash land. Our ship enters orbit, burns up, and we jump out with our mech. We end up separated from our mech, and we have to return to it to continue on with the story.
Ooh, cool!
We have awoken in the forest. An entryway into most open-ended stories is to just awaken somewhere, particularly forest. That's a very common point. Dust off our knees.
That means I'm walking hard.
Off we go into the meadows. There are quests that can be found as you go along, but it's not dictated by doing quests. If you just want to collect resources and build things, you can totally do that. In this, we're just going to set up our home base. There's a couple tutorial missions, a couple things I get stuck doing because I'm curious. But most importantly, we need a camp, somewhere we can set up so that if we want to continue doing something like this in the future, that we can just pick up where we left off and move forward. We found our mech. We need to attach the mech arm and the mech engine. It's a little bit slow to do because the sensitivity isn't great. It's not the end of the world. You don't often hop out of your mech. I'm sure it could easily be changed. Pick up the mech arm and attach it to the body of your mech. The mech engine as well, it is shaped like a tractor, which kind of reminds me of the movie Robots, which is a great movie, underrated. Enter the mech.
That's like a transformer.
Nice little cutscene. You can see all the controls there for what we'll be using to maneuver the mech. The next step is to find all the tools that we need to build up our home base, farm, mine. You'll notice that I swap between the front view and the top view. I like the top view better. Some people might like the front view. That's fine, no problem. Our goal is to go to all of the orange flares. That's where all the different items are that you can pick up and attach to your tools. First of all, we managed to find the spike saw and the spike punch. Both important for gathering materials such as rocks or farming trees with a saw. Moving over to this beautiful location here, one of my favourite locations that I've discovered on the map. There's this lovely lake, pink tree, pretty alien plant. It's just a nice place. We will find the vacuum harvester. That's important for suctioning plants and also collecting water if you need to use water for anything. I didn't quite see what we picked up. Moving on. Just got the irrigation hose and the seed shooting left. We've made it to Pine Heights. You have to clean up Pine Heights because there's all this noxious slime around.
That stinks.
Taking it out with the water, the irrigation hose. But you also have to collect water for the irrigation hose. You can shoot it out, but once you run out, you have to go and collect some more. I spent a lot of time taking out these noxious slimes thinking that it'd be an easy job. But oh no, at 3% completion per noxious slime, that's a lot of slimes. And you have to find them. They're not marked out on the map or anything. You have to find them. We head up through Pine Heights for some more water to the other noxious slimes. The map has a couple different distinct terrains and areas to it. If you go to those areas, they have a certain theme about them. This side has an artifact theme, a bit rocky with some noxious slimes around that you have to clean up. And also it has a day-night cycle as well, which is really important as to why you need a home base, because you can sleep the night away. I decided to come back to the beautiful location here underneath the cliffside with our lovely lake, trees, and where we found the vacuum. I decided to build a shelter here for us to sleep in. You use wood. Most of the time the craftable items are listed, but I ran out of wood, so we have to go and collect some more, chop some more trees down using the saw. You can punch them, you can saw them. It's not specific to which way you mine the materials. As long as you collect them, then that is the main point. As you can see, we have now fulfilled our wood requirement, so we have built our shelter, and I can place a small tent somewhere within the allotted area. It's not really specific, it's more of a guide. You can force the game out of those little boxes. You don't have to be in those boxes if you don't want to. Needed some more materials, so off we go to chop down some more trees. I think it's actually a really relaxing game, despite being partially in a mech.
Can I have one for Christmas?
You can do a lot of things that you can do in most creative survival games, but it's not restrictive. Day number 2. We are awake. We still have 2 things to do. We need to find the seed shooter, which is important for farming. And we still have to restore Pine Heights, which we won't do today. But it's good to know that it is something that we can do in our spare time.
Go away.
The seed shooter is important because it can allow you to farm. I made a couple of mistakes early on and didn't collect the right seeds, which is fine, it's all part of learning. I actually went past them just before. I went back to my base because I wanted to plant the small plots as soon as possible and move forward. If you had a farm, what would you grow?
Apple.
Is that it? Apples?
Then watermelon.
We need some wood and some plant fibre. Thankfully we have enough for both small plots, so there's less work involved in building them. However, we have no seeds, so we have to go and collect some. They all go in the mounds. Here are the little alien plants, the polyberry seeds. I think they look so cool. They're just one of the fantastic alien plants that you can find. There's also creatures as well. Didn't really get to dive into too much of the creature stuff. That's okay. If people are interested, I'm happy to play more of this. Head over to the water and collect some more water, thinking that we need to do some farming, some irrigation with the plants that we will be growing. As you can see, I accidentally planted a different kind of plant that I picked up. It's a blue cauliflower, I think. Plant all the mounds. There's 9 per small plot.
Into the soil it goes.
And then I had 3 left over, so I used them in this mound over here. We can water our lovely garden that we've got going on here. I also like the flowers in the grass. It just makes the area look so nice. It's so cinematic here. And I think it's really fun to play a game in a mech where it's just relaxing. It's not Titanfall. It's not trying to do something Call of Duty. It just is relaxing.
It's an ancient megastructure.
Here we found this cool looking artifact that reminds me of the Iridians, which got my interest peaked. I decided to walk up and try to enter. However, it does just bounce you backwards, which was funny. Walking over here, I noticed that there was a iridium rock, a strange rock. We're going to take that out and try and take it with us. Nice artifact collected for us. It's dark again, so I thought, why not pick up some more seeds? Because we have some open spots on our mound. When we return back to our farm, we can use them there. Did some more exploring in the dark before the next day begins. And then up here, we managed to find the yellow forest. Another all-terrain section that needs to be cleaned up. It's got some noxious slime around. And also this really cool, dead, whatever this is, skeleton. How cool is that? It's like golden bones, almost, inside of a giant Jurassic creature. That would be pretty scary if it walked the earth. There's also these noxious weeds. Don't know how to take them out. I think I have to upgrade my vacuum, one of my tools, to be able to utilize taking them out. Returned back to the mound and planted these just in time for the next day. Seconds, almost, after I planted all this, day 3 begins. And our plants have grown. They look a bit fungusy. Not sure if they'll be edible or sellable. However, we do have some extra quests that we need to do. We can now decorate slightly because I collected some stone, add in some other materials that might be useful to us for our base. There's a little bit of collecting involved, not a lot. A couple of rocks, some decor, stone. Also got to chop down some trees. I'm not overly fond of the environment to the sides of our base. I know that we can always work on that. Doesn't matter that I'm taking out a couple trees here or there, or some bushes for some extra plant fibers. That one was being a bit difficult. Alright, we'll finish building this, our oil presser, and we can craft some plant oil with this, which I think you can sell. Whilst we're waiting for that, we will build a campfire next to our tent. It can get a little bit cold at night here, unless you're inside the mech farming, doing a late night shift. You might want to have your campfire going, cook some marshmallows with your plant oil. Who knows? We've also got a clothes drying rack. That's for decor purposes. The stinky underpants not included in the crafting process. I just added them myself. Our plant oil is still going. And then we also were able to create one more thing as part of our quest. So we added a small little token horse that sits down. It is so tiny. Doesn't take much to build at all. But yes, that is our home base setup. I think it looks great. It was a lot of fun to play. It was something different that I wanted to do. So thank you for taking the time to watch, and let me know if you want something else like this in the future. Thank you. Bye.